emails. And this morning's breaking news, Hillary Clinton handed over her private email server used during her tenure as Secretary of State after months of pressure. Her decision coming just hours after federal investigators found 2 of the 4 classified emails discovered on her home server contained classified material. This despite a denial as recent as 3 weeks ago from Mrs. Clinton.
First, let me say that I am confident that I never sent nor received any information that was classified at the time it was sent and received.
I want to bring in Daily Caller Editor-in-Chief Christopher Bedford, who joins me now from Washington, D.C. Christopher, thanks very much for weighing in here. Your thoughts on the Clinton email server story?
Well, I think she's in a lot of trouble here. She's pledged once again to fully cooperate, but she said that over and over again. And it took inspector generals from the Department of State and the intelligence community, which were appointed by President Obama and confirmed by a Democratic Senate, to haul her up now, and the FBI is now in control of her servers. And as Judge Napolitano said earlier, she's in serious trouble here because some of this information is top secret. It could pose a grave danger to the United States national security. Some of the information they said it could be included in this is also stuff that was brought in from space communications and monitoring of foreign nationals' communications, and all of it is definitely not allowed to fall into foreigners' hands. In an interview yesterday, John Kerry said he's almost certain, or it's very likely, was the quote, that the Chinese and the Russians are monitoring his communications, and he always keeps that in mind when he sends an email. So for Hillary to do this puts her in a lot of trouble, even with Democratic nominees.
In terms of that trouble that you're referring to, I mean, a lot of people are comparing this to what General Petraeus went through just by keeping classified information in his desk drawer. Do you think it will be a similar fate, or is it different rules for Hillary Clinton?
I don't think the hammer is going to come down as hard or as fast on Hillary as it did on General Petraeus, who had fallen out of pleasure with the administration, who also had an affair. And I think it's going to be a much slower process. She's able to drag this out a lot longer. She's got a lot more power, and she's also out of her position. She's no longer currently involved in government, is a candidate.
Right.
But I think that this is going to stick a little bit more than some of the unseemly scandals that the Clintons have weathered in the past, and some of the whispers and some of the rumors. Now, for the first time, they can't blame a conservative conspiracy. They can't just blame the media. She's actually in serious trouble here, and she's in trouble with the government for actually breaking the law, and there's evidence of it.
Yeah, I want to get the panel's thoughts on this, Christopher, because we are here in campaign season, and I wonder if anybody here thinks this is going to impact her campaign for presidency. Darren?
I think that it'll definitely be a speed bump.
You do?
There is growing momentum behind Bernie Sanders, as the numbers in New Hampshire reflect.
You're right, yeah.
I would also add that there's a video of her saying there's no classified information, and then there is. That's never a good fact pattern.
Randy, what do you think?
You know, this happened at the worst time for her, I think. Right now, we've had Donald Trump take a little bit of the heat off of her, and then all of a sudden, this is coming back into forefront. It's going to be tougher,
Donald's very
I think.
happy, by the way.
I'm sure he probably is.
Yeah.
Who's on the hot seat next? It's going to be the next determination as to where we're going to go in this politics. It's going to be an intriguing year.
Yeah, really.
But to your point, I mean, she already had credibility issues, right? I mean, when the polls went out, is she trustworthy? That score was already pretty low. So to your point, saying, okay, I did not put any classified information on my server, and now there are at least 2, emails that have been proven to be top secret.
9% of the sample.
Yeah. And we don't know what was in the email, the contents, Christopher, but you think the fact that the Justice Department has the server and the FBI has this criminal investigation going, that this is quite serious?
Yeah, they've taken it out of her hands, which for months and months she'd kept it in her hands. She'd given it to her attorneys. She'd had it here in Washington, D.C. And I think that it looks like the only reason they handed everything over here now is to avoid how horrible it would look if they actually had to launch a raid and confiscate her servers.
Secret information about the Kardashians, I think.
Yeah, right. All right, Christopher, thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you soon, Christopher. Thank you.